welcome to my channel. This video is going to be a pick a card reading for the full moon in Aries this October 2021. Full moons are the perfect time to reflect and look back and see what has occurred the past 2 weeks since the new moon, check in on the intentions that we set at the new moon, and reassess, see what we need to do to reach those goals or those intentions, and release anything that may be challenging or in our way, or kind of figure out where to go from here. So it's really a time to just reflect and let go of what is preventing us from reaching our accomplishments or feeling the way we want to feel or manifesting what we want to manifest, and make the necessary changes in our life, in our thoughts, in our emotions, in our belief systems, whatever we decide that we need to change up. This full moon is in Aries, and Aries is a very passionate sign. Aries is about taking action and getting things done. When the moon is in Aries, we like to look at our purpose and our sense of our identity, who we authentically are, and what is really true for us and our life, and what we want to accomplish, where we want to go, our life direction. That is really what we want, not considering what other people want or what other people think we should be doing. Really looking at what's true for our souls. Aries really reminds us to stand up for what we believe in, fight for what we think is right, and just be true to ourselves. So some things that you can think during this moon phase or this time of the year around this full moon in Aries is, what do you really want in life? What do you really want right now? What does your soul desire? What are you craving? And then come up with a sort of action plan about how you think you could get there, or what's the next step that you need to take to start to get there, to start to make these changes, to start to see movement or something happening, which is what this reading is going to be about. I'm going to be asking our familiar in this pick a card tarot reading, what are familiar things we need to clear out or release in order to bring in that energy, that drive, that passion that's Aries is all about, that really fiery Aries energy, to get the motivation and the excitement and the energy to do what needs to be done, to follow our purpose, to follow our passion, to be true to our souls, to be our true authentic self, and to live our most authentic life. So I'll be asking our familiar what we need to do to embrace this passionate energy, what we need to release and let go of to make way for this passionate energy, and how we can really let our passions, what we love, what we care about, what we feel deeply about, what is true to our soul, be a strong motivator, take charge in our life and our decision-making process and the actions that we take, and where we want to see our life going, the direction we want to be headed. So hopefully you can tie this into your new moon intentions that you set around 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to shuffle the cards, which I'm using, like always, the Dog and Cat Communication Tarot deck, which is specifically designed for communicating with animals. And I really like to check in with our familiars during setting intentions and when working with the moon and astrology, because our familiars are really in tune with our energy. They spend a lot of time with us, they're always in our energy, and they really mirror and reflect back things that we are going through, which I talk a lot about in most of my videos. So take a few deep breaths, get in a meditative state, and pick your number, either 1, 2, or 3, and I will shuffle the cards and get into the reading. How can we embrace our passions? What do we need to let go of or release in order to be more energized, feel the drive and motivation to be our true authentic self? What do we need to let go of to make the way, to make it possible? Advice from our familiar for group 1, group 2, and group 3. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1, your cards are the Knight of Balls and the Emperor. Group 1, your cards, the Knight of Balls and the Emperor, are telling you that your familiar thinks you really need to have a strong routine. You need to know what you want your day to look like, have some idea, and then make sure you follow that. Maybe pick a few tasks that really need to get done, that you really want to do, and these are tasks that make you happy, bring you joy, maybe things that you've always been putting off because you feel like you don't have time, or there are other things that you should be doing. For example, baking or drawing or painting or sewing, something that is fun for you, reading or something like that, that you think of as not that important, or something that, oh, you just didn't get to today, you'll try tomorrow, and then you keep pushing it off and you never actually get to doing it. Maybe it's going out for a walk in nature. Maybe it's playing with your dog or your cat. Your familiar wants you to do these tasks. Your familiar wants you to do these activities. And your familiar is saying that you need to make more of a schedule. You need to schedule time. Pick a time or a day that you're going to do something that brings you joy, that makes you happy, that brings more love into your life, that you're passionate about, and do it. No excuses. You set aside the time, you cleared your schedule, you made sure you had a babysitter, you made sure you had this and that done, and then do it. Stop making excuses. Make sure that you get to do this activity, because everyone around you will benefit and you will as well. And don't just do it once. Make it into a routine, a schedule. Do it regularly. Pick when you're going to do it and stick to it. Let everyone in your life know that this time of day or week where you are doing this, and they need to leave you alone. They can be involved if you want them to, they can join you, but this is what you're doing and there's no way around it. Inform others, let them know, and when you're doing the activity, also enjoy it. Be mindful. That's what the card, the Knight of Balls, is saying. To enjoy these activities and don't feel guilty, don't feel shame, don't feel embarrassed. Whatever feelings that may be coming up, push past them and let yourself feel the joy. Let yourself be playful and present and mindful in the moment. Hope that was helpful for you, Group 1, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Group 2, your cards are the Ace of Balls and the Ten of Bones. Group 2, your card, the Ten of Bones and the Ace of Balls. The Ace of Balls is your familiar telling you that you can get this motivation or this inspiration by doing an activity with them. But do a new activity, something that you haven't done before with your familiar. Maybe you wanted to enroll your dog in agility, or maybe you wanted to teach your cat some new tricks, because cats can be trained tricks very similar to how dogs can be trained. Or something more small, like taking a different route on your regular walk with your dog, or rearranging the furniture in your living room so that your cat has some climbing shelves or a different space to sit and observe through the window. And then sitting with your familiar, with your pet, and enjoying that new activity with them. So if you rearrange your living room for your cat, sit at the window with your cat and observe with them. Watch the birds or the people go by, watch the wind in the trees. Whatever view you have, sit and observe. If you go for a walk, be really mindful during your walk with your dog. You can even try a new game or a new toy, learn a new trick, try a new essential oil in your diffuser and see how your dog or your cat responds to it. There's probably something that you've been wanting to do or meaning to do, and this is your familiar pushing you to do that. And the Ten of Bones is your familiar reminding you to celebrate your relationships and the partnerships, the bonds that you have in your life, especially the ones with your familiar. Your familiar is just saying, focus on the love that we have between the two of us. and how we feel together, the trust that we have, the joy that we have together. Focus on that and stay in that feeling in that moment. Notice all that we have accomplished together. Notice all that we have overcome together. You and your familiar are a team. You're a partnership. You work together. You communicate. You problem solve together. And really acknowledge that bond, celebrate that bond, and do an activity that can increase that bond, improve that bond. Even though it's already really great, there's always room for improvement in every partnership, in every relationship. And this extends to not only the relationship with you and your familiar, but to your other loved ones and others that are in your household or that you are close to, or even that you and your familiar are close to. Maybe you want to include everyone in your household in an activity. What these cards are really saying for you, group 2, is that for your familiar wants you to just step back. Don't always be trying to analyze and organize and plan and get every detail down. Just take a step back, relax, spend some time mindfully in the present moment, and things will just come to you. Things will flow to you. You'll get ideas, you'll get inspiration, you'll realize what is holding you back when you just try not to focus so hard and try and figure out what is holding you back. Take some time to just enjoy the love and the joy that you already have, and do an activity that brings you closer to your loved ones, that brings you and your familiar closer together. And make sure that this activity is a new activity, something that you haven't done before, something that you've maybe been wanting to do, looking forward to do, and haven't done. Make sure that you have variety in the activities that you do, in the walks that you go on with your dog, in whatever you usually do with your cat or your dog. Bring some variety into that. Change it up. Try something new. I hope this was helpful for you, group 2, and you have a really great time period for this full moon. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Group 3, your cards are the King of Hearts and the Lovers. Group 3, your cards, the King of Hearts and the Lovers, are all about love and joy and partnership and really coming together with someone else, which is really interesting for this full moon in Aries, because Aries isn't a sign that I would typically think of as a relationship sign. Libra is more a relationship sign, which we had the new moon in, and we're still in Libra season. But this Aries full moon brings that focus from relationships a little bit back onto ourselves. But your familiar is telling you that there's still some things in relationships and the people, your loved ones, that still needs some work, or you still need to focus on a bit. You're not quite done with all of that Libra energy. You still have to bring that Libra energy, that partnership, that love, that connection and collaborations with others into this Aries full moon. The King of Hearts is about looking at relationships and working or collaborating with someone else, a partnership, trying to overcome a challenge or obstacle with someone else. So really working with someone else and communicating with them, but being able to understand their emotions, being compassionate with them, at the same time as being strong. So not letting your emotions take over, being able to separate emotions and logic, being able to be in control of your emotions, and being able to look at the other person that you're dealing with or trying to work with, or that person that you care about, and seeing things from their perspective, seeing how they are feeling, being compassionate, empathetic, and being able to distinguish between how you're feeling, your emotions, and what's going on in you, and how they are feeling. Not taking things so personally when maybe you feel attacked by someone else, looking at where they may be coming from instead of feeling that it's something personal against you if they're angry or sad or upset with you. So just having that really strong emotional security and feeling balanced and in control of your emotions, and bringing that into a partnership or collaboration with someone else, which is what the Lovers card is all about, is just true, authentic, and unconditional love with another person or with yourself. But being able to find a partnership with someone else, and this someone else could also be your familiar or whoever. It could be multiple people in your life that you feel that you are trying to improve your relationship or strengthen your relationship, which relationships are always a work in progress. You should always be trying to improve and strengthen them. There's always highs and lows. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong or that you're dealing with the wrong people or that you shouldn't be with these people or whoever you are trying to work with. It just means that you need to remember to be able to distinguish the emotions between yourself and someone else, and be very compassionate and empathetic when you do so. The King of Hearts is also a reminder that we need to be very compassionate and loving and caring and joyful and playful and all those really fun emotions and feelings with our familiar and those that we love, especially with children. But we also need to have structure and rules and boundaries that we don't let other people cross, or we're not a pushover, or we don't let our own values and our own beliefs take less importance. We don't become people pleasers and forget who we are. We stay firm with our values and our beliefs and how we are feeling, and making sure that we are feeling safe and comfortable. Our familiars, the dogs and cats in our lives and other animals, need direction. They need structure and stability. They need rules. They need boundaries. And it's up to us to enforce that. But those can be enforced with love and compassion and empathy and understanding and looking at their perspective. Rules don't have to be strict and mean. They can come from love, and that goes with all relationships. So for this full moon, your familiar really wants you to look at those relationships, those partnerships in your life with the people and the loved ones that you spend the most time with, or the people that you really want to work with in the future, and make sure that there is that balance there, and that you are approaching things with compassion, but also staying true to who you really are, and not letting someone walk over you or make you feel less than, making sure that you are valued as your true authentic self, and that you are also valuing the other person or the other animal, whoever it is, as their authentic self, and celebrating the differences that the two of you may have, and understanding that you can be different but still work together. So this full moon, really look at what thoughts or beliefs or emotions. With these cards, it's especially focused on emotions that you can release or let go of, moving into the next phase of your life, or the next transition, or the next year. So I hope that was helpful for you, Group 3, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.